Game number 1, Garden of Terror. We're in the losers bracket of Underdog Cup number 2. And yes, the second Underdog Cup. The first one focused on Division 2 and 3 in HeroesLounge, where players are roughly high diamond to low grandmaster. And currently we are in the second, a little bit of a smaller tournament, where players play from teams in Division 4 and 5. So those are the lowest divisions within HeroesLounge, the amateur league. And it's actually quite fun, because right now we have silver players here, we have gold players here. You will see the occasional diamond player that snuck into a team, but generally speaking, the level is obviously a lot lower. The occasional bronze is going to play here too, but we're going to have a lot around gold level plus minus. So there will be some real fun games, and already were, especially when it comes to hero choices, because traditionally when you don't have a lot of time to play Heroes of the Storm and you find yourself at the lower levels, what that means is also that you focus on a couple of specific heroes that you're trying to master, as you should. But in a tournament format where when every single hero can only be played once within a series, that also means that as you're progressing, very, very quickly you're going to find yourself in a spot where you have to pick heroes that you're not all that familiar with, and that then, of course, you can't play on the same level. So it's hilarious. We already had Ragnaros, we had Cho'Gall, we had all kinds of stuff, and this is just going to continue here. The loser of this best of 3 series is also going to drop out of the tournament. The winner still has a chance to make that lower bracket run where they end up still in the grand final. But it should be pretty cool. So on the ban side, we now have on Garden of Terror, immediately Dehaka banned out, and also Junkrat. But with a very quick first pick on Vala, it already signals that Sigma Male is immediately saying like, hey, we're going for team fights here. We're going to try and absolutely drop them. We get Jojo and Oriel on the side of Cats against Trouble. They were in some trouble in the winner bracket, but now they might be the ones bringing the trouble here. Kel'Thas also banned out against them. You have to also know that a lot of these teams you can look each other's match history, obviously, within the league, so you kind of know, hey, what do they like to play? What are usually picks that they're trying to aim for? So you can make it even harder for them to go to their comfort picks. But game number 1, still plenty of choices available, so you're not going to have a problem. We have Brightwing and Blaze for the blue team. Hogger hasn't been chosen yet here. He's obviously a pick that you would traditionally expect to be picked very quickly on this map, but hasn't made an appearance yet. You want to have wave clear. You want to take camps out as quickly as you can. So camp clear is one of the most important things on Garden of Terror. There's so many mercenary camps. If you end up with a composition where you can take all the mercenaries and your opponent has a rough time taking them in a timely manner, then you will dominate a lot of those lanes just simply through sheer lane pressure on the PvE side. Now, final ban against the red team, and they're getting rid of Gul'dan. So with Oriel, still curious what they're going for as a damage dealer and as the hope generator for her. And yeah, Leo for the sideline, and give me some damage, my friend. Daddy needs damage. There are also still a couple of globals around. Ragnaros, triple frontline. Leo, Ragnaros, and Johanna are the choices for now. Okay. And I guess Vala likely with an auto attack build, trying to aim for stacks. Which then would, of course, immediately beg the question, are they going to add a second support to all of this? A triple frontline? Or just another damage dealer? So will be interesting. And they're going for a traditional double damage setup, Tacita, Vala. So Vala might deviate away from the auto attack, or they're just willing to let her die a couple of times now that the second damage dealer is there and she's not the hyper carry of the team. That leaves us with the final choice for Cats against Trouble here in Garden of Terror. And I'm a bit curious. With Ragnaros, you already have the potential to also control the lanes, thanks to Lava Wave, which we've seen a few times. And they go for Jimmy. Jimmy is taken in. I've seen this before. Let's see what the level 1 choice is for Jimmy. I really hope it's ace in the hole. Stacks are not working out for them. Let's go. Game number 1 of the best of 3 series here in the losers bracket.
The battle
Game number 1, and on the left side we have Sigma Male with Lizzie Ryan on Tacita, Jacqueline on Vala, Moondog is playing Diablo, we got Anafos on Blaze, and Justior is playing Brightwing in game number 1 of the series. On the right side of the map, the Cats against Trouble with Cats on Jojo. We got a Meteor build for Faku playing Ragnaros, Skarax is on Leoric on the side lane, Truck Driver with Oriel and the Righteous Assault, and we got Ace in the hole, I like it, from G-Fog on Reyna. Vala, by the way, has decided that she wants to go stacking anyways, so she might die a few times here. We'll see how that works out for her. But, yep, we're gonna get an auto-attack play from her right now. And already, big damage on Tacita, and bam! That's that. Tacita is gone. That is first blood. Jimmy came in, and instantly kill. Jojo with a slow, Leo with a slow. And that was the end of Tacita. So Protoss is gone. Ah, nicely done. That was very, very well played. And obviously a good start for them into the series. Now down at the bottom of the map, they're getting a bit of a lead too. But that was a very, very, very quick kill. That was basically... He basically Laubered. I mean, yeah, he just pulled a Lauber. So right now, the hits will keep coming. Ragnaros at the top is playing this actually a little bit slow. Doesn't want to get too far out here. So that he doesn't get ganked up. But now that the 1 minute mark has passed, teams are immediately making plays for their mercenary camps and try to take those out too. And Blaze is now rotating still along. We're having Siege Giants traveling to the bottom of the map for both of the teams. So no surprise there. And of course, Vala is also starting to work a couple of hits in as they're trying to go for another pack in the middle of the map. And over here, yeah, Siege Giants are still pushing through all the way up at the top. We get Faku doing his thing, Jet Propulsion connects. And they're actually starting to battle this out. But talking about fights, at the bottom the next one is coming together. Yeah, and Pass the Doubles again in some trouble, but Brightwing with a quick heal is eliminating that quickly. So far so good. Slight advantage in experience for Sigma Male. Again, they lost one of their heroes earlier, but right now it's also going to be about the walls. The Tacita is going to be starting to throw out in just a moment. We have Death Dealer for Vala. We get Neil Peasant for Leo, so he will be able to control the minions on the side lane even further. And then the Majestic Span here for Oriel for those heals. It's obviously quite nice when you combine Tacita with Diablo, because what you essentially do is every time you throw out one of those walls, you create another opportunity for Diablo to stun a target into, which is pretty big as well. So, yeah, next stun over here. They're actually trying to invade in this one. Down at the bottom of the map, still a play for the first seed. Blue team is actually thinking that they can take this despite the position, which is clearly leaning towards the red team. Normally makes it a bit harder to grab because your opponent is so much closer to their fountains and the sustain that it brings them. Also Blaze isn't here yet. Uh-oh, Moondog gets drained and is able to get away, I guess. Yeah, has to jump to one of the minions, but with him low, the seed gets taken by the red team. So yeah, there was no chance for them to re-engage with Diablo being this low. If your main tank is having a problem there, not likely that you're going to be able to push through that. But it's only one kill so far, all in all. One seed taken, not more than that. And they just have to start building on this as things continue over here. I mean, right now, for example, there's still lots of opportunities for the blue team to maybe even get a kill. They're clearly aiming for Oriel. Equipped Whip, though, keeps Diablo at bay. They're trying to go for Jojo. Jimmy, completely unmolested, still with attack after attack. And I can tell you, Diablo doesn't like that whatsoever. Once the Entomb is in, he's going to have some trouble. Vala's, of course, stacking things up and is sitting at... Yep, this time they were able to make the play. And not only that, they are going for the double kill. And they get the triple. As Diablo pushes in and takes down Leoric with a wall stun. Nicely done. The first one to fall was Johanna, and then after that, things just went south. So... that is 3 kills to 1, and the lead in experience now on the side of Sigma Male. They are going to get their first seed. This one is not going to be contested. Can't do anything about that. But yeah, Vala has some stacks together. Tacita is of course starting to stack it up. The souls for Diablo are coming together too. And that one was big. That was a really nice fight that they won there. Jimmy also has to be very careful. I mean, again, this is fire bad against Marine. But yeah, that already procced his passive. And now they just have to see how they're engaging into the next fight. Because there's a danger that level 10 is hitting. Here comes another jet propulsion. Bit low. Brightwing to the rescue. Helps out here. Leo Leo comes in from the top. Looks at this and says immediately, yeah, I'm out again. I'm definitely out. I'm in the wrong spot here. Bye-bye, boys. 50 stacks for Vala, so she gets her first quest reward. Good for her. But it's going to be interesting. After the early stages, after the first kill, it really looked like, okay, maybe the cats can start to pull something off and get a bit of a lead here. But right now, the blue team, with that big team fight that they've won in the lead and experience, are just looking slightly better. Level 10 is going to change things. I mean, level 10 is going to be the real game changer. There's going to be so many dynamics that unfold. Also depends a bit on what exactly Ragnaros, for example, is going to take. Both ults would make sense, but we had Lava Wave from them previously, so I assume they're going to do the same thing here. Only one team on level 10. They're immediately attempting to use their heroics. Didn't quite work out, but Jojo, yep, she stayed too long on this one. So she's dead now as well. That's another kill for them. And some of them haven't even taken their ults. But here we go. Also, we have, again, the Hyperion for Jimmy and Ragnaros with an insta-lava wave at the bottom of the map. Starting to do some work here against the, not only minion wave, but also against the camp. And obviously another one is going to spawn that they're going to get on the left side too. Oh, actually? Nope. Just missed the timing there. So that means that they got not nearly as much as they thought of the lava wave. At least a bit of control, I suppose. Everybody's getting pushed back right now. Rest of the ults fairly normal. Brightwing, on the other hand, did not go for blink heal. So Brightwing actually goes for her isolation plays with Emerald Wind. He uses that already, but Diablo might still fall and somehow makes it out. So Diablo is actually able to escape. That's kind of wild. I mean, he looked like anyone that would just get one auto attack in could have dropped him there. But he is able to escape. And while Blaze is taking camps, Leo is doing the same thing. And everybody is getting ready for the next seed. And the next seed is not going to be contested by the blue team. It would be the first set of Garden Terrors for them. But they are totally happy to instead make a move for the bot lane fort. And they will get free damage in here. Jojo is already rotating over. But yeah, this is going to take at least some of the hit points off. Too much though, we didn't have a minion wave there. Ragnaros is also slowly coming in, trying to help out, of course. Could technically try and go for a Molten Core here, but instead they are making a move for Diablo. Emerald Wind is used, they isolate Ragnaros, they get a kill, and they get a second. Vala is ripping them apart currently. 92 stacks now, and it's a double kill against Ragnaros and against Johanna. So this is starting to get dangerous. This is starting to get really dangerous. Because there's a lot of momentum building up and somehow this has to be stopped. And it just continues. Aegis is out. This will only delay the inevitable, I think. Actually, is he going to be able to get away? Diablo needs the cooldown, comes in, flips him over and gets whipped into the wall. But they are still able to get some auto attacks connected. Jimmy survives, but Auriel is dead. Diablo the entire time playing essentially without hit points. I mean, he's been so insanely low here. Over and over again. It is bananas. Now, next little play for Ragnaros, and he's not going to make it either. There's an... Ah, Jesus, they are really stopping them wherever they can. It's 8 kills to 1 now. They got the Siege Giants too. The seed is up, and that's Garden Terrors, 100%. At least both teams have now level 13 talents, but boy, oh boy. They are struggling here. Once that level 10 came online, the blue team has started to totally dominate. There are a couple of delay tactic plays that could be executed, especially, of course, with Lava Wave. But right now, it is an absolute disaster for them. They are losing so much ground here. And it doesn't look like this is going to stop anytime soon. Quest is completed for Ragnaros, so that's good. Diablo still playing around Jojo a little bit, but while they are getting pushed back, that mid lane forward is a goner. And there's nobody defending the top lane either, by the way. So Blaze is completely alone in the top lane with the Garden Terror and will likely eliminate that 4-2. That means that the defenders have a numbers advantage down here, but look at the damage! Insta-kill! Jojo and Leo are both gone. Ragnaros pulled out his trade, trying to defend, but boy, they are losing so much. And now level 60 talents are available for Vala and the rest of the team, which means that she is going to have Manticore. Hasn't even picked it and still gets another 2 kills. 123 stacks for her right now, and they dropped everyone. They try and go for Ragnaros too. Might even get a kill here. Diablo! Yeah, Vala nearly got the kill, but now she's dropping low and they have to retreat here. I mean, one more shot and she might have even died, but they have to retreat. But they killed every single forward. They took out the wall at the keep. Garden Terror at the top is still in play. Nobody gets fooled by this either. So they're looking great here. 12 kills to 1. And yes, the top wall is gone. Top wall has been eliminated as well. The red team is just completely pinned down in the base now. So huge plays from the blue team. Yep, really, really big plays. And now, on the damage side, Vala is sitting at 33,000, not even top damage in the game. That's actually has it out with 35. Jimmy is looking good with 35,000 as well, but it's just not enough. Yeah, it's just not enough. And now camp after camp is being claimed. We can also try to get a bit of a look at the experience gains, of course. Mercenary experience in favor of the blue team. Minion experience, this is currently where the cats are just doing a bit better. Part of the reason is, of course, Ragnaros with his lava wave. And the hero experience, that's the big one. They're setting up a trap. There's only one camp up, so they're trying to set a trap here. Well, they decide that they want to have the siege giants after all. Jojo is already saying hello. They have level 16, but there's already the poly. And Aegis is used as they are panicking a little bit. They're using Aegis now at the same time that they're using Iron Skin. But that's at least a nice entomb. Diablo gets saved by Blaze in the bunker, and Leoric dies. Leoric dies. Dibbles is looking for another stun opportunity. They go for Jojo. They drop her. Now it's Ragnaros that gets attacked. Manticore is already working its magic. And they can go for the top lane with the catapult and everything else that they have here. Ragnaros gets pushed around and killed. That leaves only Auriel. I think they're going to lose a keep here. There's a very, very good chance that they're going to lose a keep right now. Auriel is the only survivor. Forget it. 5-man team wipe. Auriel is dead too. And Leo, he came back, but they're just farming them. It's a farming simulator. Sigma Male goes through Cats Against Trouble like hot butter through cheese. An absolute slaughter at this point. And it's just crazy. They go for the core as well. And boy, oh boy, it's getting crazy. The core is falling. It's falling quickly. They can't save it. The death timers are too high. There are only a few defenders ready. And this is the 1-0 lead in this series. Nicely done. GG, well played as Sigma Male takes the 1-0 in the game.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2. So, match point for Sigma Male. We are in losers bracket still. 10 heroes have been played and cannot be played again. I think the cats are going to be happy about that because whew, that last one was a tough one. That was not easy at all. So, we are going to Infernal Shrines. As we're heading into this, also again guys, quick shout out to all the supporters at patreon.com/Khaldor. As you can see down here, this is another one of the small tournaments where I'm also putting the prize money up myself. So again, this wouldn't be possible without supporters there. People are oftentimes asking, hey, what's the best way to support the channel and esports through the channel? And it's honestly the Patreon page. It's just the easiest one for me and just in general. The best also, much better even than Twitch, for example. So if you want to help to keep the esports scene in Heroes of the Storm alive, then consider checking that out. Again, the link is in the description if you're currently watching this on YouTube, or you can just use the link right here. And a big shout out to everybody that is already supporting the channel there. A lot of the tournaments that we hosted over the last couple of years wouldn't be possible without you guys, so it's really appreciated. Thanks a whole lot for supporting the channel there and for helping out the Heroes of the Storm esports team. So thanks a lot, guys. Really means something. Khaldor still gets banned, by the way, now that we're heading into our second draft. That has been a reoccurrent ban for them. Now, it makes, of course, also sense since we're going to Infernal Shrines. I am a little bit curious, like, didn't we see earlier also some plays around Mephisto from the blue team in the winner bracket match? So maybe that's something that they would consider picking for themselves. Tychus is banned, so no Odin transformation that we're getting here. And yeah, Dehaka gets banned out too. 10 heroes are gone. Yes, there are a couple of picks that you might have where it's like preference picks that you now can't rely upon anymore. But generally, this is still a match where I think teams shouldn't really be shocked too much. But of course, it's not only that you are thinning out the pool by 10, it also means your opponent is going to pick different heroes. So yeah, there's a lot of factors that play in. If this is like a league or a match where it's like the ex-pros playing, this doesn't matter. But since we are now in the lower levels, that is definitely a bit of a concern, or it can very quickly become more. Normally, this isn't becoming an issue until you're hitting map number 4 or 5, maybe even later than that, but slightly different here. ETC as a first pick, so that's a statement. First pick ETC, alright. Sonya and Anduin against that. So we get Sonya for some spin to win action on the shrine, and then Anduin for the needle the safety tool, and of course his pull out ability, but also the light bomb. By the way, this is the third series now that we have in this tournament. Haven't seen Genji once. Nobody has played Genji yet. Maybe that changes now that we have Anduin. You could go for a light bomb engage. But just noteworthy that that hasn't been a thing yet. Alexstrasza and Mephisto. So if there was a plan for the blue team to play Mephisto themselves, it is now gone. Now, yeah, Circle Queen Alexstrasza. Would have loved to see her with Stitches, for example. But I am curious what else we're going to get from them. You have a Dragon Queen now on the shrines if you transform. Tacita has been claimed. Tiger has been banned, so no more transformations are going to happen. Thrall gets banned too. There is a chance that we're going to get some triple frontline shenanigans, for sure. I mean, if you play ETC, you know that he's more on the squishy side. If you just are always the team that engages, hey, that's great. But ETC can become a liability very, very quickly. So you have to be very careful how you play that. And on the red team side, I mean, Anubarak, yes, he gets banned. But they could still play Mal'Ganis again. Muradin is up. So there is a lot that they can still go for, which can deal with all of this mega easily. Diablo obviously played, so they can't stun people into walls here on the shrines. But the next two picks for the blue team, we're getting Tracer and Chromie. Okay, so yep, if the Tracer player knows what he's doing, we might have some heroes on the red team side that are going to be in trouble here. So Chromie for some damage from afar. And then on top of that, you know, getting Tracer for the needling down. Or also just as an executioner. If Chromie gets some easy connects, the target drops low and Tracer then moves in and finishes it off. That also works extremely nicely, of course. So that's a easy comp. And we get Diva and Orphea. Oh, okay. ETC Diva and Orphea plus Mephisto. So that means you have now also 2 mages for your damage. And that brings us Garrosh as the final pick. Ladies and gentlemen, map number 2. Sigma male against Cats against Trouble. Match point for Sigma male. The blue team on the left with Jacqueline on Tracer. That's definitely going to be an important one. Lizzie Ryan on Chromie. We got Moonduck on Garrosh. Anafas on Sonya. And Justior is playing Anduin. Blue team obviously coming from a very dominant victory on the first map. And now trying to carry that momentum into the second game of the series. We have the Cats against Trouble with Cats on ETC. We got Skarax on Full Metal Diva. Farku on Ophia. G-Fog on Mephisto. And the Truck Driver is aiming for Alexstrasza in this one. So, some little Alexstrasza action that we are now getting here as well. And already a bit of a fight happening in the middle. Garrosh is obviously looking right away for a few targets that he can flip around here. When it comes to talent choices, we have the Skull Missile build for Mephisto. Double Mage can be... it can be a thing. You can make Double Mage work, but it's never easy. You need to sync up your abilities if you really want to get the most out of it. Yep. Top side, our 1v1 has already been established. So we have Diva and we have Sonya doing their thing. And I think Diva is underestimating Sonya here. That's not a one-on-one that I would engage that easily into. Sonya has their sustain, Sonya has that slam. Yeah, careful. You don't want to pop your fountain cherry too soon on the lane. But poof, down here, the bomb connect. That is already a lot of pressure. This can, of course, backfire if you're going too deep, especially if you're trying to fight into the advantage of your opponent running a fight directly in range of the towers. But the blue team, they're basically trying to continue where they left off in game number 1. Apply the pressure, keep them low, and more importantly than anything else, force mistakes. Force some mistakes, make them bleed, and yeah, that's what they're trying. One camp is already taken over on the right. The neutral camp has been taken by the blue team. Now they're trying to go for the second one over here on the left. And Sonya is still all fine at the top, whereas Diva rotates towards the middle. Sonya is also going to match that rotation, of course, to get the experience here. But the red team is not trying to invade the camp or make a play around this. So they're not being aggressive in that sense. We have on level 1 the Ancestral Strength and then the Chaotic Assault from Ophia. Still a couple of flips happening over here, as Garrosh is also looking for some additional targets or wants to keep the opponent out. And yeah, Mephisto is already trying to take the minions out here in the middle. They have still camps that they need to be dealt with too. Another play, and that's the first blood. Ophia goes down, got slowed, and then Garrosh comes in, flips her into the fight, and Tracer is just finishing her off. So that's the first kill. Shrines are activating now too. So we have Shrines active in a moment, but are we gonna get 2 camps? I'm actually not so sure. They're too late to go for the camp, so there's only 1 camp at the top lane pushing for the red team, sorry, for the blue team. Always assuming that they're actually gonna take this anytime soon, because Tracer is not really the one that has the most clear here, and with Chromie they're able to take it, but that also means that their opponent has taken the upper hand on the points on the objective. So they're now starting to fight into that. And who's going to get a kill? Tracer is low, has to drop out, and that is already shutting some of their aggression down. But a nice bomb connect. Mephisto is still alive though. Garrosh, on the other hand, got absolutely murdered. I mean, where did that Ragdoll actually go to? The Ragdoll got absolutely crushed. Diva explosion, and well, that is a great start for the red team into the first objective. They get the Dragon Queen transformation, and they have the first Punisher. Simple as that. They're able to get a kill. They shut Tracer down at the start a bit, and now they've taken Mortar Punisher, number 1 of the game. There might be a lead in the experience and talents for the red team, for the blue team, but it doesn't really matter too much. Now they gotta bait this over, and they do. And well, Mephisto, close, my friend. Tracer wanted the kill, saw an opportunity, jumped in, but couldn't get it. But they are defending this very, very easily. Still, this was insanely close. Mephisto nearly died here. This could have been the end of him. So, a little bit... If Tracer connects that bomb, then Mephisto's dead. But still, nicely done. The objective is taken by Cats Against Trouble. So, on the objective, they're doing okay. Ooh, now what about Ophia, though? Some damages in, and there it is. The flip forward Orphea is dead again. Second time that she dies. That's the third kill in total for Sigma Male. As they have to fall back a bit. Chromie obviously now has her ult ready too. Has not made a choice yet on that. But are they going to try and control the shrines with Flowing Sands or looking for kills with a time loop? I mean, right now they're not looking really for anything here. But we should get that fairly soon. And there it is, Temporal Loop. So, Temporal Loop for Chromie. Yeah, can definitely try and get some kills together with that. And will. D.Va still sitting at the top. That's actually nice. Like, getting a D.Va kill honestly feels always so insanely satisfying. It's probably one of the best things that can happen there for you. Talking about kills, they're looking for a few more down here at the bottom of the map, and they get one. ETC! ETC is gone, has been obliterated, so that's another kill for them. And they will use the numbers advantage that they are now running at the bottom of the map to get themselves a few additional camps and an even bigger advantage over the opponent. So, yeah, easy plays being made over here for them. Trying to get the Khazra, still pressuring the bot lane a bit. And they even get the kill on Mephisto. Mephisto is dead too. Quest is, by the way, not yet completed for Alexstrasza either, so she is not done with this. But, boy, this is getting a bit troublesome. With 5 kills to 1. Now, the good news, obviously, is that the red team the entire time didn't have that ult yet. So now that they have heroic abilities in their grasp, this is where this might change again. And hopefully for them will. Because, yeah, if not, then good luck. That momentum train is running hard, and somebody needs to stop it. Somebody needs to step it up. Good mosh pit of ETC would go a long way here. Chomp down with Orphea. Get that mosh pit done. Well, here comes the bunny hop. Alright. Mosh pit got, by the way, interrupted. And they still survive through all of this. Nice. So they're able to survive through all of those shenanigans over here. And now it's just simply a question of what can be done around the second objective up at the top. Yeah. That's the big one now. What can they do around the second objective and the Punisher? Because this is a frozen Punisher. I'm actually surprised that nobody is going for this sooner than that. So right now, they want to go for, well, Garrosh maybe again. Garrosh might be a little bit low and get saved by Anduin. ETC still has the cooldown on his ult, so we haven't seen a mosh pit yet. A bit too much for them. But right now, the next jump in. Sonya with a quick leap. They're trying to go for the kill on D.Va, and they get it. D.Va is down. D.Va is actually down. The counter kill attempt has not worked out for them. So, yep. That's a problem. That's a huge problem now. I love, by the way, how nobody goes for the objective. They're finally starting to retreat, and as the two teams split, the move towards the top is inevitable. But nobody until then was even trying to go for the objective there. They were all just saying like, ah, yeah, well, we're going to deal with it later. Not really a thing right now, but off we go. Objective is starting to get attacked by the blue team. Sigma Male is going to try and get the Frozen Punisher here. Take a significant lead already. I mean, they're not there yet, but the red team will have to catch up. Now on level 13, we also get Jumper for Tracer. Talent advantage, of course, also for the blue team. ETC with a mosh. Gets interrupted right away. And D.Va, the explosion. Chromie with the timeout. Anduin is alive. And they try for the counter kill. D.Va is back to business. Everybody's still alive here, but this might change in a second. ETC is gone. And somehow Garrosh survives as Tracer solidifies a kill against Orphea. The red team, boy, they were so close to lock in a couple of kills here, but now they're getting chased down the lane. It's the end of Mephisto, and they might get D.Va too. The heals are out. D.Va is dead. 4 heroes eliminated. 10 kills to 1. They still haven't taken the objective, but it's of course now wide open for them. So 22,000 damage for Orphea. 30,000 damage for Chromie. She's running the show currently. They should honestly put somebody at the bot lane too and make sure that they're getting some experience there as well. Even with 10 kills, they have... I mean, the only thing that they have is an experience lead. This might change now, but they haven't taken any structures out yet or threatened further. Sonya is now rotating between the lanes. It's going to help them not only to make that lead in XP even a bit larger than before, but they are also going to be in a spot where this will pressure some of the forts or walls. So once again, they try to go for ETC, and the heal saves him. Throw me the timeout, but this time they might have gone a little bit too much. Anduin is gone. That fort will fall. Punisher jumps in, wants a piece of the action and gets some damage in, as we have Alexstrasza again with the Dragon Queen. So, yeah, she's using the Dragon Queen here, and that's not something that you want to stay and fight if you can avoid it. So, they let the Punisher just slide here for now. It's going to do a bit more damage against the wall, and they can then go for the remaining lanes, but maybe also try and take some structures. Now, as I said before, and as I am not going to get tired of repeating, if you are ahead this much in kills and you're doing such a great job winning fights, you need to also translate that in a tangible advantage, which means taking structures down. If you don't do that, you are going to be at some point in a situation where your opponent catches up in experience or wins a fight, and all of a sudden you are the one that finds themselves behind. So they have to start doing some work here on structures. One fort taken out with that big of a lead and 16 talent advantage is honestly not really enough. So they need to apply a bit more pressure here. Now as time continues, the death time has increased, of course, so then you have more that you can get out of those kills. But that also means that if your opponent at any point in time is able to get a turnaround against you, you're going to be the one in trouble. So they're starting to do some damage with the wave that they just got in, and that soaks up the shots, but they are losing Garrosh again. Garrosh is gone. Mosh Pit, and this one will do some work. Tracer is eliminated. They try to get Chromie back to safety. Anduin is also on the run. Stun them out with a light bomb. Chromie is gone. That's 3 kills now for the red team, and they have basically level 16. So they're even in talents, and this is kind of what I described a second ago. Now they have a situation going where they have a numbers advantage, they're right there, and they're going instantly for structures. Immediately trying to take the big lead in all of this. So, blue team might have just played this a little bit too safe. Now, time will tell. For now they're still fine here, but they just lost the fort. So in structures they're now basically even. Bottom fort, bottom right has taken a lot of damage, so that's the one difference, I guess. But there is still a lot that needs to be done. And look at what's happening in the mid lane. Red team immediately goes for it again. Did some damage there too. So they're really trying to make sure that whenever they get a bit of a lead, they're accelerating and they're just widening that gap. So good for them. Yeah. Looking very good on this one. Whereas for the blue team, this is obviously a bit of a nuisance. Now, they are still ahead in experience. They're taking that bottom fort now out. But this was definitely a bit of a setback for them. And the lead in XP is now 1 level. That you can bridge that. Now, as we are heading towards the next objective, we're talking about Arcane Punisher. And the red team is of course going to try and again land one of those mosh pits that allows them to get the kills. We've seen Sonya hold her ult back a little bit in some of those instances, trying to make sure that she's going to be able to connect that whenever ETC has a mosh pit going. But now they catch Chromie. Good save from Anduin. D.Va already with her ult out. Yeah, but Dragon Queen should be up. Here comes the explosion. Gets flipped over. They try to create a little bit more space for themselves. And the attack is still ongoing. And Tracer is actually going for D.Va here. So is Sonya. Ult on Ophir is out. D.Va has to move back, gets stunned, and is dead. D.Va is gone. Light bomb engaged with Tracer. Ophir is also gone. Red team losing to blue team. Back to their shenanigans. And they're going to get the kill on Mephisto as well. That's a triple kill for Tracer. They are guaranteed to get that objective. They should at least have Sonya there, honestly. And maybe they're even going to get Alexstrasza. Hello! And yep, that's a kill. Alexstrasza is gone as well. Tracer is retreating. And now it's really time to push it. They have a more than a 2-level lead. They have level 20 talents in one moment, and this is looking better and better for them here. So after that bit of a setback that they had earlier, this is now looking much, much better on the side of the blue team. They've already taken the fort apart in the mid lane, so this one is easily gone, and they can open up the wall before the Punisher is even here. So here's your chance to try and come in and take the first keep of the game out. Alexstrasza's back in 10. Punisher's moving in. They're even trying to go for D.Va again. The jump, the stun. And can they get a kill? They're flipping it over, and D.Va is gone. She came, she saw, she died. Veni, Vidi, Vici. And the same is true for Fia. Respawn straight into another death. That keep is a goner, 100%. ETC gets a big heal from Alexstrasza, but she's still not surviving. This might just be game. This might be game right here. They go for the keep. Alexstrasza barely makes it out. And now the big chance to end their game, to end the series, to move on to the next round of the losers bracket. They are pulling it off. Congratulations to Sigma Male. They move on to the next round of the losers bracket. Cats against Trouble lose with an 0-2 and drop out of the tournament. GG and well played.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.